Melisandre Millier is best girl. She is the trifecta. She's got the class, she's got the personality, and she's got the looks, right, Elaine? This is one of my favorite characters in the game. When we first meet her, she's complaining about how boring war is and how she has a disdain for joining Zenoira. Yeah, Zenoira. That's how you say it. I say it wrong all the time, and I hear it all the time. We also find out she is the last of the noble house Maye, and once she finds out that Elaine is leading the charge, she thinks that can bring former glory back to the house if she defeats him, and she also thinks he might be quite the looker. So she goes out and she meets him, and this is where we recruit her in the game after beating her, and she makes Elaine uncomfortable with a joke teasing him that he is going to have to make her his one day. And that is where I first really started liking the character, and I was like, I love this girl. She needs to be in my party all the time. I'm going to use her. I like her. So that started off right there. But let's jump into the class that she is. Now, I can pull up some stats here on the side from the video, from the game. So she's a sword fighter and then later goes into a sword master. She starts off with keen and go-getter growth, which is pretty good, but I ended up changing her to a offensive, which ends up leading to more kills for me. So that is a big reason why I made the swap over, because you want the kills. She has a little trouble with the wyverns, even though she's very good against flyers. It's just they will deflect that first one, and then she has to wait till her next round to go. So against wyverns, she's not as good, but she absolutely destroys scouts. She destroys the griffins, like hands down, really quickly. You don't really have to deal with them because of her. And then when she goes against someone who doesn't guard, her meteor strike will hit 9 times. She almost always crits on each one, and she completely tears through anything that doesn't guard or dodge the attack. So she is awesome for getting quick kills for you and keeping stuff out of the way. And if you combo her with a shaman that has defensive curse, they're not going to be able to guard. So just kills right through it. So it's completely awesome that her character is so strong with her class. And then she has impertinence charged impertinence, which gives her another action point after she uses her point. So you get more attacks in, and then you can also parry a melee attack, which gets, like, if a thrust comes in, you get a parry, and then you get another AP, and you can meteor strike again. And she just keeps doing all this damage. And if you give her the crit item, the gambling coin, like someone gives her the gambling coin buff, she does even more damage. So she is very good at getting damage out, and I just love her. And she has True Strike with Keen Edge. This allows her to damage other people and get some nice damage out as well. And it's a True Strike, so flyers are going down easy without dodging. And then she gets the weapon Stingray when you meet her, and it's just a better version of Hasten Strike. It does 50 less power, but it will give you 2 PP points if you kill the person. So a lot of times against a griffin or a scout, you will get the kill on that, and you just have to make sure that you're not using another at the start of battle because it is limited. So usually she will have a faster initiative than your other characters that have at the start of battle, but not always. You don't want to do that. Now, I married her in my playthrough because she is best girl and we're going to marry her, but I kind of think it's not the best thing to do, just because you either have to give up getting full AP or getting full PP. And that is not something we want to do when we're playing, because you only get 2 slots. So we want to make the best out of our slots. Now, I know that sounds dirty, but get it out of your mind. Let's keep moving on. We're going to have some more fun with this video. Now, we do learn more about her personality through the rapport system. She meets Adel. She talks with Adel, where she helps him out because he's quite the ladies' man, even though he doesn't know it. And when you meet him with Clive, he talks about how he doesn't really go into he doesn't really talk well with girls. It's actually a Monica and Clive thing where you actually get more Adel things, but he is not good with her. So Melisandre comes to his rescue, saves him, says he's his sister, saves him with ladies and gets them out of there. And you see that she is always there to help other people. With the rapport with Scarlet, you find out that they're both rivals for Elaine's heart, and they end up becoming friends because they like the same stuff and they like going shopping together. Then you have Liza and hers interaction where they are making tea, and we find out that Melisandre wants to be able to do the stuff her attendant Colm does for her, and you get the little interaction that, hey, I don't care that you're not a noble, I'll treat you as my equal. So you learn from that she treats others equally whether they're below her or not. Speaking of Colm, she risks her life to save him in their third level of their rapport, and she says he can't go dying until she gets married because he is like a father figure to her, so he might want her to give her away at the altar because her parents are dead, which is very sad actually. And then the angel dude, the priest that was messing people up or lying to the people, she helps him with his attitude and tells him, you're not deserving of all this hate that you're putting on yourself, and tries to get him to think better of himself. And speaking of getting better with himself, I don't know how to say his name, the wizard who is always self-deprecating, she teaches him to believe in himself and helps him along the way to get better. So we have her proving that she is a good person inside and out. And we also, Prince Ludwig Aramis, I think that's how you say his name. Prince Ludwig, yes, Prince Ludwig, she recognizes that he is actually he tends to be more noble than a sellsword. So she sees right through his mistake or his thing. And then you also find out with Monica that she's been doing this for a long time. She sees through people. She was able to spot a guy who was the accomplice of a thief who went in and robbed the house of Melier. We find out all of this stuff that she goes through, and we find out that she has this class, and we find out that she's also quite the looker, for those of you that don't know. And she catches the eye of Elaine. She does, because in their third interaction together, he talks about how beautiful she is. And then if you choose to marry her, there's more of, you're the only one for me. So it's very good. I really like her as a character. She's strong in the game. She's strong personality-wise. She is just awesome. That is my case for why Melisandre is best girl, and I really hope you like her, so I'm going to put her all her scenes in right after this. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
I'm sick of sitting on my hands all day. Why does war have to be so boring? Those morons will pay for stationing me in the middle of absolute nowhere.
Lower your voice, Lady Melisandre. There's no telling whose ears lie behind what corners.
Anyone worth half a damn wouldn't bother listening to my drivel. I swear fealty to Galerius, and this is my prize?
Enough. This querulous nonsense is unbecoming of the storied House May's sole survivor. Your relation to the family line...
Can we please not go into this now? I'd rather not feel belittled by my glorious ancestors today.
Urgent news, milady!
Speak.
It's the rebels, sir. They're approaching our camp.
Marching from Lisbouche, This all comes far sooner than I'd expected.
And if the reports are to be believed, it seems His Highness Elaine leads the charge.
That's the best news I've heard in months. This Elaine fellow might as well be hand-delivering our long-lost glory himself.
Ah, there's the Lady Melisandre I know.
I just hope he's easy on the eyes, too.
And there's the other side of her.
Can't you tell a joke when you hear one? He could be the most handsome man in the world, and I'd still fight just the same. Now, prepare for the assault. And station a separate contingent you know where.
Yes, milady. Sound the alarm whistle. I want all lieutenants readied for battle at once.
How old was that prince meant to be again? It would be an awful shame if he breathed his last before I got a good look at him. Maybe I'll just take a quick pre-battle peek. And why shouldn't I? There's not a man in the world who could hope to equal me.
What shall be done with her, my prince?
I know how this goes. I'm prepared for any fate you see fit.
Come, Melisandre. You belong with me.
Was that a proposal?
Perhaps I misspoke. I mean that you belong with us. The Liberation, that is. We have great need of fighters of your distinction.
Oh. Well, I suppose it's still a tempting offer.
You mean to accept, milady, but their hopes of success are nigh non-existent.
Think for a minute, Colum. What did our loyalty to Galerius get us besides tedium and depression? And now that we've failed him, he's bound to complete the trifecta with our heads on the chopping block.
A fair point. We'd more than likely face the same fate were we to decline the Liberation's offer besides. In truth, no odds are too small when they're the sole chance to preserve your noble lineage.
Speaking of that lineage, just imagine. Cornia's illustrious House Maillet, allied with the rebels who seek to reclaim her status. Why, we'd be a prized feather in their cap. Isn't that right, Elaine?
I wouldn't dare disagree. Our union would be a significant one indeed.
Then it's settled. I should say, I've taken quite a liking to you. Know that that's why I'm joining. Above anything else.
Thank you, Melisandre.
That's not all I want, though. Once you claim the throne, I'll be expecting a place at your side for real.
Sorry?
Oh, don't worry. I'm not asking to be queen. Just one of the few dozen consorts every king calls upon.
Fascinating, yes. Let's discuss it another time, shall we?
Elaine, is this what I think it is?
I'd like you to have the ring of the maiden.
You mean you'll take me as your bride? Me? Above all others?
That's my wish, yes.
This barely feels real. I'm not dreaming, am I?
I assure you, you're wide awake. You were hardly subtle in your approach when first we met. Now, allow me to return the favor. Your hand, please. And with that, our oath is sworn.
Oh, Elaine. I, Melisandre Maillet, pledge to stand at your side through whatever may come. Through times both good and bad. And I know what I said before, but don't go taking any wives but me. Or consorts.
I promise. You're the only one I could ever need.